7 rappers you didn't know were married. Because it isn't always the most wholesome type of music, it's sometimes hard to imagine rappers being happily married and having families. While their personal lives are often on display in songs, these aren't subjects that are touched upon all that much. We know that Chance the Rapper loves his wife, but are there other rappers out there that most people don't know about that have tied the knot? Well, of course there are. Even some of the rappers that regularly talking about being promiscuous in their songs are sometimes married. Offset spit plenty of verses about other women while being married to Cardi B. And he's not the only rapper to do that. Rap might be mostly a game played by bachelors and bachelorettes, but there are definitely outliers that settle down. You might be surprised which rappers are actually married. Before I jump into this list though, make sure you like this video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Now, here are 7 rappers that you didn't know were married. Number 7, 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz is a rapper that is full of surprises. When he first exploded into popularity with songs like I'm Different and Birthday Song, critics and YouTube commenters alike were quick to write him off as an arrogant rapper with no substance. But there was a well-thought-out formula to his success, and that shows off just how smart 2 Chainz really is. Despite his initial reputation, there really is nothing ignorant about 2 Chainz. Real name Tahid Epps. He's known for having a lot of academic success while at college, and even attended on a scholarship. So what else might surprise you about 2 Chainz? Well, perhaps the fact that he's a family man. You'd never guess from his lyrics, but 2 Chainz is in a solid marriage with 3 kids. He got married to his wife, Keisha Ward, in 2018, but they had been going steady for years and years before that. Apparently, they've been dating since 2006. They had their first child together a full decade before they were married, and their next 2 kids came in 2012 and 2015 respectively. 2 Chainz actually proposed to Keisha at the Met Gala in 2018, in front of plenty of reporters. Their actual ceremony was pretty small, but it was reported that the after-party was packed. Who wouldn't want to go to a 2 Chainz party? Number 6, Pusha T. Pusha T isn't one of those rappers that is constantly bragging about all the women that he's been with. His raps are frequently dark and story-driven, often drawing from his past and everything that he has experienced growing up as a drug dealer in Virginia. Still, it's a little weird to think of King Push as being married. Maybe I'm just thinking too hard about his runaway verse. But the guy projects an arrogant persona that almost makes it seem like he's more comfortable alone. But it turns out that Pusha T really isn't much of a player. His domestic life got brought into the spotlight during his feud with Drake. We all remember how that went, right? As one of those most personal rap beefs ever, parts of Pusha's life obviously got dragged into the mix. And one result of that was all of us becoming more aware of the fact that he's married. His wife is Virginia Williams, and they didn't exactly rush into getting married. They were dating for a total of 11 years before making things official in 2018. That means that all of Pusha's solo music was released while he was in a relationship with Virginia. That's pretty crazy. As you might expect, the marriage ceremony was beautiful and very star-studded. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian were among the 150 people in attendance. Pusha and Virginia met way back at the release party for the Clips album Hell Hath No Fury in 2006, but they got engaged after a surprise proposal in 2016. They're going strong still, and they even welcomed their first child into the world this June. But it doesn't look like his new responsibilities as a father have changed Pusha much. His child's middle name is Bricks. Number 5, J. Cole. Despite being one of the most successful rappers of the current era, there isn't a wealth of information about his personal life out there. That's probably because the lyrical rapper takes a different approach to fame than most. Following a quick rise to the top of rap, Cole pivoted to a more humble and private lifestyle. He doesn't chronicle his daily life on social media, he doesn't give many interviews, and his fans are generally left in the dark about what he's up to. Sometimes he completely surprises the world by popping up with a new song or some interesting info about himself for his music. For instance, he randomly let the world know that he was training for the NBA this year. Yeah, make that of what you will. Anyway, this is also how the world came to learn about his marriage. In a 2016 interview, J. Cole surprised the world by casually letting it slip that he was married, and had been since sometime in 2015.
How they getting married change you, bro?
Oh, what is that, G, my man?
Oh, you never interviewed somebody before. Is that off limits?
Yeah, that was like,
Oh, my bad, bro.
We don't know a ton about his family life, but we do know that his wife's name is Melissa Heholt. She works as the executive director of the Dreamville Foundation, a nonprofit that Cole funded. In the same way that he revealed his marriage, Cole let it be known that he has a kid. And another one. We really know nothing about his kids. And it's likely that J. Cole wants it to stay that way. Fair enough. I'm looking forward to his next album. Or his NBA tryouts. Number 4, Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is a bit of an enigma. He started off as one of the pioneers of gangsta rap, and he initially had a reputation as a hardcore gangster. Despite this history, this isn't really how he's viewed at all these days. Sure, he's older now, Snoop is almost 50, but his long and storied career has found him as a household name, without much of a threatening presence that it once had. In fact, Snoop has developed a bit of a wholesome brand in the past few years. Like, come on, he had a reality show with Martha Stewart of all people. If that's not something that makes Snoop seem like a family man, we're not sure what would. We doubt that anyone would be too shocked to hear that Snoop is married now. But Snoop actually got married way before anyone would have expected it. Just a year after the release of The Dogfather in 1996, he tied the knot with Shantae Taylor. They had known each other since high school, and it seems that this ascension to celebrity status never changed anything between them. They had 2 sons together, one in 1994 and one in 1997, the year they got married. But the story of his marriage gets more complicated. They actually got divorced in 2004, and then got remarried in 2008. During the 4-year period they were apart, Snoop actually had a 3rd child with another woman. Oops. He and Shantae are still together to this day though, and it seems like they are likely to become grandparents together. Just imagine having Snoop Dogg as your grandpa. Number 3, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is similar to J. Cole in a number of ways. They are both leading forces in the current world of lyrical hip-hop. They both gained fame quickly and then shed their celebrity status in favor for a more private lifestyle. And they both have truly dedicated fan bases that follow everything that they do. So this should come as no surprise to Kendrick diehards. But still, most people don't know about his relationship with Whitney Alford, and that's by design. They don't let a whole lot slip about this aspect of life, but we do know some things for certain. We know that they dated for years and years. They were high school sweethearts before finally getting engaged in 2015. And here's where things get a little confusing. Some sources report that they've gotten married since the engagement, while other sources say that they're still just planning on being married. So either Kendrick is engaged or married. Either way, one thing is definitely certain: the fact that he has a kid. He and Alfred had a child back in 2019, but we basically know nothing else about his family status. He's a mysterious guy. Maybe he'll drop some new music that brings some light to the situation, but then again, maybe not. Number 2, Gucci Mane. An absolute icon of rap, Gucci Mane has been influencing the modern trap scene since long before many of today's most popular rappers had ever picked up a mic. His music is beloved by people all over the world, but his personal life is almost just as interesting to some. His legal problems and various stints in jail have been the source of numerous stories, as well as his various beefs with other rappers. The guy has even had an interesting enough life that he wrote an autobiography. But if Gucci Mane is known for one thing these days, aside from his prolific music output and endless influence, it's his glow up. After returning from prison, Gucci showed off an insane new level of fitness that he'd achieved. People were so blown away by it that they speculated he was a clone of the original Gucci. No one was happier to see him return from prison than his now wife, Keshia Kaur. She waited for him while he was locked up, and they got married in 2017, the year after he returned home. Apparently, he proposed after an Atlanta Hawks game. Classic. Number 1, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has undoubtedly had an interesting relationship history. Aside from the endless rumors of her getting together with her record label peers Drake and Lil Wayne, Nicki dated Safari Samuels for over a decade. They broke up and they always seemed to be dissing each other on social media afterwards. Nicki then went to date Meek Mill, and it seemed pretty certain that they would get married. But some people held out hopes for her and Drake to start dating, especially as he and Meek were beefing during Nicki's relationship with Meek. She later posted a photo of an absolutely huge ring, supposedly showing off the fact that she and Meek were engaged. And then they broke up. After this, Nicki's next relationship wasn't quite as high profile. She started dating Kenneth Petty in 2018, and they got engaged in 2019. They married later that year. Compared to the social media storms that her relationship with Safari and Meek had brewed up, this one was far more low-key. There's still plenty of controversy surrounding her husband though, but you know, I won't get into that. With Nicki just giving birth to a child with Kenneth Petty, perhaps her time as the self-titled queen of rap is coming to a close. Who knows? We all remember how her last retirement went. So which rapper were you most surprised to hear was married? Let me know in the comments. And before you leave, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to our channel.